Hey there, Alex here. Number 2, we're talking about twin flames. All right, so let's get into the real nuts and bolts. What are twin flames? And I've got a little whiteboard, of course, but I don't really need to use that necessarily. Twin flames are two souls. I'm sorry, excuse me, one soul that is incarnated in the third dimension as two different bodies. That's all it is. When you really recognize that all is energy, everything is everything is positives and negatives and energy. And we are 99.99999% energy at the soul level. That is, when we incarnate in the third dimension, which is time-space dimension, where we have physical matter, then everything here is polarized and everything is duality. Everything is a plus or a minus. It's an up or a down or a yes or a no, or I like this, I don't like that. It's black, it's white. Everything is opposites. It's duality. And it's about preferences and judgments and decisions we make about things that separate. And we see everything as separate. And so when it comes to the two bodies of one soul, it is two incarnations of that same soul frequency. So you share the identical soul frequency, which is vibration, it's sound, it's light, it's all that entire soul frequency is identical with that other being in the third dimension. And to be in the third dimension, there's a positive and a negative in general. Now, these two beings that are incarnated prior to meeting are both in their own positive and negative, right? We all have, and this is my little symbol here. This is the Merkaba. We all have positive and negative, masculine and feminine energies. Everybody does. Everything does. Go to the Hermetic principles, and you'll learn so much about this journey. Everything, as above, so below, as within, so without, the law of polarity, the law of gender. Everything in this third dimension has a positive and a negative. And so therefore, if the soul decides that this is a lifetime in which to incarnate in two bodies, both of them still have a positive and a negative, but when they meet, then something really crazy magical happens, and difficult as well. And so it's a soul's decision to do this, to have this meeting happen. It's a divine appointment. Let's just put it that way. And so these two souls come into some sort of a meeting. It can be brief or not, doesn't matter. I won't go into that now. But when they meet, what happens is let's just say these are the two souls, the positive, they're both whole for the most part. But when they come together, the recognition of the entire wholeness of the other, which is you, is so incredibly magnetic because it's you. It's like seeing your God essence in another. And they do the same with you. It doesn't matter if they're male, female, whatever. It's just both of these two beings. They come into this, well, it's been called the bubble love phase, whatever. They come in together and they begin to merge. Their DNA is singing to each other because it's the exact frequency. There's a recognition that's happening, and there's a merging that's happening. It's a soul merge that's happening. And the DNA is actually tightening. This is shown just, energetically, this is a known phenomenon. And anything that's unlike that DNA as it's tightening starts to get pushed out. And so there's this build up that happens, this incredible merge that is, it can be a brief encounter, or it could be much longer, but this merge happens and the energy builds and builds and builds. But and again, you see the God essence of yourself, all of the denied parts of yourself. What happens is you first see all the things you love, and you start to attribute, since so much the completion that you're feeling. How do I explain this? The completion that you're feeling is all the parts of you that you've denied in yourself that are being reflected in them, that you recognize because it's a perfect match to your frequency. So it's like a wholeness at the level beyond unconditional love right away, because of the wholeness of that unity. Okay, I mean, what a gift to experience. And yet what happens is, as that DNA and that soul recognition happens, a third energetic field actually forms, while the twins start to recognize that anything that is out of alignment with that wholeness, all of the distortions from your lifetimes, the beliefs, the core, core wounds, I mean, everything that's not true in the highest, most purest form is now being squeezed out into this energetic field, and bam, a wall comes up between you. And that is basically, first of all, there's that soul merge and like a soul shock that happens when these two bodies meet. Let's see if you can see this. So you've got the two bodies, masculine and feminine, they come together. And then they each have their own energetic field in the beginning. They start to merge, but then this third energetic field comes around them, and this wall, it's almost like the feminine, typically, which is the negative charge, the feminine her charge will flip to positive. It's almost like the projection, all of the crap starts to come up, creates this wall, she flips to positive, and that's where this wall comes up. You can't have two positive, they will repel. And the push-pull energy begins. She becomes the push, where she's pushing her energy all onto trying to get that feeling back. And the pull starts to run the other direction because the energy is way too much and this wall is repelling them. Okay. Meanwhile, all of the core wounds are activated. The Kundalini is activated, and that's spiritual energy that's stored down at the root chakra. It just, during that merging time, it just comes up and aligns all of your chakras. There's a heart opening that happens, and then all the distortions want to come out at the same time. So the core wounds are activated, pain can happen in the body, all kinds of things can happen. And then that wall goes up, and then the soul fragments. It's like it just fragments. And then the initiation has begun and the separation starts. 99.99% of twin flames will go through separation. This is the journey. This is what happens, and it has to happen in order then for the feminine to correct her polarity again, back. Now, let me clear this, because there's a whole other piece here that is really important to understand, because when you get this, you're going to understand this journey right away. So you can kind of see how that part happens. The big thing is, oh gosh, there's so much. So let me do this piece first. So you now have this shared energetic field together. The masculine, sorry about all the glare there. The masculine is running far, fast, and hard. There's this wall between you guys, and you're like, no, don't go. And you're running after him, pushing all your energy on him. Now, in order so this is that shared field. So that shared, but you still have your own energetic field, and so too does your divine masculine. Okay. So again, that's the positive. This is the negative. But you as a being alone, you have your own positive and negative. You have your own two charges, as does your divine masculine have his own two charges. But together, you're one charge. So if you can understand that the goal here is for you to alchemize and balance your energy, because he won't. You're the awakened twin. You're the conscious twin. This is the subconscious twin, the matrix twin, as they call it sometimes, whatever. The more third dimensional masculine is more on the planet here, just lower chakras, right? Here, holding the space. Whereas you, as the divine feminine, are typically in the upper chakras, and that makes you the more awakened twin. You have just flipped, and you're going crazy. You've actually become a little bit more on the masculine, because now you're chasing, and typically the feminine receives, does not chase. But nonetheless, we can't deal with this until this comes into balance, because until this is balanced, your positive and negative within you, Okay. Your masculine, feminine polarities need to come into unity in order for you to even play this game. Okay. So the sooner you can forget about this and work on this, that's what's going to then change this energetic field. And then naturally and organically, the masculine will come into balance alongside. You're doing all the balancing work. That's your alchemizing gift, and they will follow. It's just law. Okay. So I'm hoping you're getting this part of it. Now, this whole energetic thing here, there's a lot that's going on. So the Kundalini is activated, which basically means that all of your stuff, all your crap has come up to be alchemized at the same time. Anything that's unlike the unity that your soul is calling you to, anything that's unlike it is coming up at almost at the same time, which is why the world around you begins to crumble. Suddenly you can't, like, everything's falling apart. And your world seems to be crashing down, and all you can think about is, please, bringing back the 3D masculine in order to feel okay again. You're looking outside of you to feel whole again, and it will never work because of this energetic field, because you are one system that is now polarized. So you have to work within your own polarization and come back into your own unity, doing the work to alchemize all of the crap. And the sooner you focus on just that, and you see yourself as soul again, completely, then you'll be able to then start to work as a unit. Not even work as a unit, but that's when you will remagnetize in the rest of your soul, because soul will attract soul. So in a sense, as soon as the sooner that you realize that this journey is about you, oops, sorry about the noise, that this journey is about you and not about the twin, that twin is just there to initiate the journey for you and to come in every once in a while as you're still trying to balance. He's going to come in and trigger and trigger and trigger. And we'll talk more about that in another video, what that's about. I can't stand the runner chaser idea. Let's just call it push pull. But really, it's just the play of duality. And it's a sort of a spiral that you go through as you make your way up the scale of consciousness yourself and alchemize all of the distortions. There's things that people do that to try to bypass the journey, and we'll talk about that as well. Lots to talk about. Make sure you do subscribe. I've got, like I said, many things to share to help you get this. And the sooner you get this, the sooner you make it your own journey, the sooner you'll be able to come into your own wholeness, which ironically, of course, will feel so amazing and so blissful and will be so magnetic that you'll magnetize everything you want in your life. And the twin, yes, will come in as well. So long as they're here on the planet with you, it will come back in, he, she. Or we'll just say your divine masculine. And then you'll get to choose whether or not you want to have a relating experience. But it won't matter, because you'll already be whole, and you'll recognize that all of that God essence that was reflected in the twin, which is your soul, you've now aligned with your soul, which is your twin. And so it's already there now. Now it is you, and it's coming from you. And yes, it is probably only it's only your twin that will be able to fully reflect that, because it is you, which is a beautiful thing. But until you own it and it's yours, you will continue to see that twin separate, and you will push them away. And that's the game. That is the game. So I hope this is making sense. Love to get your questions and comments here. It's a crazy journey. It's extremely rare. It's a gift. Like I said, it's extremely painful at times, and glorious as well. So just something to, really sink in. I guess I'll probably go through how do you know for sure, but I kind of just explained how the journey looks. But I'm going to have to create enough videos to try to attract people to this, to help them to find some solutions. And so anyways, love to hear from you. Give it a like, a thumbs up, share if you know anybody else going through this from, not that it's, again, often that it happens, but hopefully you'll find this. And again, if you're interested in working with me, if you have a lot of really intense energies and so on, you might not be ready yet. I'm thinking that if you found this, you are. But if you still have a lot of emotions that are coming up and you're still very triggered, that's especially where I can really help to kind of knock some of that down with you to kind of calm things so you can get back into focus. So just check out the description box and you can learn a little bit more about what I do. So thank you so much again for being here, and I will talk to you on the next video.